This episode of Talk the Walk is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Talk the Walk here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and enlightened excited Eddie V. Joining me, special alumni, queen, diva, iconic. She used to be a co-host on Crossroads and may come back, we don't know. Everybody, please welcome and give a standing ovation to the one, to the only Nellie that's on this planet that really matters. Nellie! Hello!
Yay!
Yes!
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? I'm happy to be back.
It's so great to have you here. I'm so glad that you're here. I miss you so much.
I miss you guys.
Everyone here at Boss Rush Media loves you. We miss you and everything. And we're going to get on LaRon because LaRon wasn't able to make this discussion. But he is a busy man. But LaRon, I'm going to let this one slide. The next time we got a game that we're going to discuss for the show and you hyped about it, you better play it. Come on.
Hey.
Okay? We love you, good sir. Host of Crossroads. And if you guys don't know, you can follow him on Exodus803 on YouTube to see more of his work.
Yes.
Just, I'm going to promote him, give him a little shout. But yeah, he's been a naughty boy.
Ooh.
But everybody, we are talking about Detroit Become Human. This game is from 2018 and it was released from Quantic Dreams. It was written and directed by David Cage. Another writer was Adam Williams. Sorry about that. It was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but then it became available for PC. And it says Detroit Become Human is a 2018 adventure video game developed by Quantic Dreams and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The plot follows three androids, Kara, played by Valerie Kirby, who escapes her owner to explore newfound sentience and protect the young girl, Connor, Brian Dechart, whose job is to hunt down sentient androids, and Marcus, played by Jesse Williams, who devotes himself to releasing other androids from servitude. Detroit Become Human is based on Quantic Dream's 2012 technology demonstration, Kara, which also starred Curry. To research the setting, the developers visited Detroit, Michigan. Writer and director David Cage completed the script in over 2 years. An engine was built to complement the game, and hundreds of actors were cast before shooting and animation. Philip Shepard, Nima Fakarana, and John Pisano served as composers for Kara, Connor, and Marcus, respectively. It was released for the PlayStation 4 in May 2018 and Windows in December 2019. Detroit Become Human was met with generally favorable reviews from critics who praised the setting, visuals, story, main characters, their voice actors, the impact choices had on the narrative, and flowchart feature, but criticized the motion controls, mishandling of historical and thematic allegories, and aspects of the plot and characters. In addition to being Quantic Dream's most successful launch, the game is also the company's best-selling game at 8 million units sold by January of 2023.
Yes.
So I remember seeing this trailer and was just like, I automatically wanted the game. Like I literally had to have it. And the way it just starts off in this game. But before we get into that, Nellie, how did you find out about this game and what was your thoughts when you saw the trailer?
I had actually, we gonna go back a little bit. I didn't own a PlayStation 3 at the time. But there was a game called Heavy Rain that they,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, I missed out on that. That's okay. And I was sitting back, and then I found out about Detroit Become Human. I was like, wait a minute, is this by the same company? Found out it was. I was like, yes, I need this game. I need to play it. I didn't really play too many interactive storytelling games.
Hmm.
So I was like, let me give this a shot. And it reminded me so much of real life because every decision you make can affect anything at any point of the game. And
Yes.
it really just stuck out to me. So that's why I wanted to play it.
I was just taken aback when I seen it. I was just like, oh, androids, adventure game, and it was just the animation and the story, and just seeing it, I'm like, ooh, this is on a whole different level. And I played Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was one of my first games that I brought when I got my PlayStation 3.
Oh
Uh,
man.
and I went into that game with my mouth agape, agape, because I was just like, oh, this, this, and I love the characters and the stories and everything, and I'm just like, wow, I did some crazy stuff in her Heavy Rain, but this game, roller coaster,
It
and I,
is.
it's a roller coaster because of the way that it plays on your emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, you are controlling three androids, but you're 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 putting your values and morals into your human values and morals into these characters to make these decisions. So we're still controlling the androids, even though part of the game is these androids want to be free.
Exactly.
So, uh, where should we start? Whose storyline would you like to start? We have Kara, Connor, and no, not Jesse, and Marcus.
Marcus.
Let's want to start with Marcus.
Let's start with
Okay,
Marcus.
okay. So, Marcus, when his story starts, he is getting his head person in charge, Carl, ready for the day, and
Yes.
Carl is a painter and everything, and you get him into the bathroom, wash him up, you have him feed breakfast, and he tells you to go, play around and dimension of things you want to do. I played chess with my decision. That's the first thing. What did you do?
What did I do? Let's see. It's hold on. It's been a while because I started streaming this and then I stopped. What did I do? I don't even remember.
I know you could play. I think you could play the piano, chess,
The
and I
first
think
time I did play the piano. The first time
okay,
I do remember playing the piano.
okay,
But this I'm playing it for a second time around. I don't
uh,
remember what I did.
okay. Well, let's go with you play the piano with that one. That's
Mhm.
good. And you once you kind of get have a discussion with Carl, you guys walk into his uh his room
Studio,
where
isn't
you
it?
play. Yes, but I gotta say, before you even meet Carl, it starts on with Jesse opening his eyes, and you're going to go get his paints, his can
Yes.
and everything. So you go around, you hear different things, you get his paint, um, and then you have the option to explore and everything. And while exploring, you're hearing these humans want to have a demonstration, protesting that
Hmm.
androids are bad because they're taking human jobs because unemployment has kind of risen in this game. You get on the bus, and then you go to Carl's house, and then that's when all that stuff happens with Carl. When you get
Yes.
it when you get into the room where Carl paints, uh you are able to tidy up, look around, see what's going on. And then Carl invites you to paint because you're helping him, paint stuff. And he asks you, what do you see? And then you get to make a decision and everything. Uh when he comes down, he hands you the brush and says, "You paint. What do you want to paint?" and everything. And I ended up painting something like real clean and stuff. He's like, "That's good for AI painting, but what do you want to paint?"
Yeah.
Uh, so,
Hmm.
what did you paint anything? How or what did you go with?
Oh man, what? Hold on. Now I have to cheat a little bit. Now I have to look this up again because it's been a while.
Okay.
Um,
Uh, and the painting thing is kind of important because it teaches you on how to make your choices in the game for Marcus and everything. Because there is going to get a point where you have to make a lot of hard choices.
oh yeah, like throughout
With
the like I said, throughout the game, you have to make hard choices.
yes, you may not like the reward that you are giving, but it's a choice that you do have to make. So, um,
Oh, and I just realized something.
yes,
You can paint on the. Can you paint the statue? I'm looking at some pictures.
uh huh,
I'm wondering. Oh, I, I need to go back. I need to go back. Yes. Okay. So yes, you do get the choice of androids, humanity, and identity.
yes.
I think I went with identity.
I went with identity because it's a blue kind of
It's the
thing.
yes. Okay.
Yes,
It's slowly coming back.
yes. Uh, so after you made that choice, Carl's son comes in, Leon, and he's kind of you know on some stuff, and it's this red drug that's kind of a big thing in the game, which I feel like doesn't pay off because there's like no reveal about the drug or who's dealing it or anything. We just know that it does something to the human body, so it's like their version of crack cocaine
Yeah.
in a
It's called,
sense.
it's called red ice.
Red
It's
ice,
called
yes,
red.
that's it.
It was the
Yes,
illegal drug. I remember.
yes. So, Leon just like, hi dad, and talking to him, kind of want to borrow his money. His dad knows what is going on and everything, and uh, Marcus kind of steps in to protect Carl from Leon, and Leon's just like, I know you, I know who you are. You think that you can keep me away from my dad and stuff? You're nothing but an android. And then Leon leaves.
Yeah.
Uh, Later on, uh, Carl and Marcus go to this dinner, celebrating his works, celebrating Carl and stuff. And Carl's just like, I hate going to those because they just really want to be with a celebrity and everything. And
Yes.
I can understand what he meant. And when you get back, you kind of see that the door has been open. One of the painting room door has been open. Uh,
Yes.
and then you go in. You find out that it's Leon who busted it in and everything. But you have the option to be as Marcus, go in with Carl, or go in by yourself. What did you do at that point?
I actually went in by myself. I remember doing it
I
because
did too.
I was like, I don't want Carl to get hurt. That would have hurt me because I actually loved Carl as a character.
Yes, he. So the founder of Playboy is who I'm thinking of when I think of Carl. When I
Oh
see him
no.
and hear his voice, but when I see him and hear his voice and everything, I'm like, oh my goodness, the similarities is there. But Carl is such nicer. He's such a
Yes.
father figure
He
and everything.
understands. That's what I like about
Yes,
Carl.
yes. So after you go in and you confront Leon, Carl comes in, depending on what choice that you make, and there's a tussle between Leon and Carl, in a sense, and you have the option to stop Leon, or help like protect Carl or something like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
what ends up happening is that one of them dies in a sense. Uh, in that situation, I killed Leon
The
in this one.
Yeah, actually, his son name is Leo.
Leo, yeah, okay, Leo. I'm sorry, everybody.
No, 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 you're good. You're good. I had to
Leo,
remember. I was like, Leo. No, I do. The first time I did push him, and he hit his head.
yes,
My second go round, because this is recent, I did not fight back.
yes, and Leo ends up killing Carl in that one.
I
Uh,
think he had a heart attack. If I'm not mistaken, he falls out and having a
he-
heart attack.
yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, uh, you call the police and everything, and when the police come, uh, so on Leo's side, he blames Marcus and everything, and the
Mm-hmm.
police shoot him. If you allow Carl to die, uh, oh no, that's what happened. What happened? But if Leon dies and stuff, Carl tells Marcus he needs to leave. He needs to run, but it's too late, and the police ends up killing him. So no matter what, you end up getting shot. Uh,
Yeah.
you end up at a junkyard and you start going around trying to find parts to rebuild your body, which you end up doing. There's
Mm-hmm.
different ways on that
Mm-hmm.
that don't really play a part for the game. But you are told about this place called Jericho,
Yes.
and you are searching. This is the long stretch of part of the game because you have to find all of those symbols and everything. But it also teaches you on how to recreate a path, and if that's the right path, you are able to hit the square button, complete it, and then go about the progress and everything. Uh, what did you think about this point in everything in the game before you actually solve it and get into Jericho?
First of all, I was like, my puzzle solving skills are not as sharp as I thought. um, but it taught me to think outside the box rather than like having everything given to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Because I'm not gonna lie, in real life, I do look for a easy way out. But again, doing that puzzle, it actually just taught me to take your time, look at your details, and solve it. There's no rush to this.
Right.
hmm
Yes. There are moments that are time limits, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
So you end up fighting Jericho, and you end up meeting three important characters with it, and Lucy, I believe, that you end up fighting. The characters are Simon, Josh, and North. Uh, so as time goes on, you kind of end up becoming a revolutionary leader um, with it. And there's kind of like a couple of scenarios that you can do, which we're gonna touch on
Mm.
and everything. Um, with Marcus giving this speech and Lucy helping Marcus get back, you kind of become the head of Jericho,
hmm
and you start, kind of trying to get the world to see, or the people of Detroit to see, that you are some androids who want freedom, or you want war to get your freedom.
hmm
What you do at this part for Marcus is going to determine how the game is, in a sense. So, the first one, I believe, is that you're trying to get parts for everybody
Yes.
at Cyberlink's warehouse. And when you do, you are, um, you find some crates, you get to search it. There's another android that comes in, and you kind of like take him as a kidnapper. You have an option to kill the human guard, uh, do nothing, or get help from, like, push him out and help the guy who his name's John, help you get through that part, cover for you. I threw John out to help me and everything. So I recruited him in the game for me.
If I'm not
Uh,
mistaken, I was playing brutally, so most likely I am probably killed them
killed the human.
against
Okay.
humans.
Yes. Um, there is another part where you open up this door and you see three androids. You can free them or leave them there. I left them there. I didn't free them with that. Uh, at another point, you kind of get
Oh
help
yeah,
from. Uh,
it's slowly. Yes,
okay.
I think
Uh,
I freed them. I
you
freed them.
freed them. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
did. I closed the door and left them there. Uh, at a later point in that same scenario, you are able to get into the security guard's house office because you're trying to get a key card so you can manually drive a truck and get out that
Yes,
section to deliver points. So I I got the gun and I fought them, but I did not kill any of them. And I just knocked them out and got the key card.
I do remember driving the truck. What I
Yes.
did before then, I think I was trying to play stealthy.
Hmm. For some reason there was no way to get the guards out, so you
Mm-hmm.
had to take the gun. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was if you wanted to spare them or not, and so I spared them after knocking them out and everything. After
Mm-hmm.
that sequence happens.
This just made me realize that I want to go back and play Marcus' story. Because
Ah,
here's the deal. Like I said, I was streaming it and I stopped because I got busy with life. But in this playthrough, I my goal is to save everyone. So that's why I was like, let me go back and play Marcus's story.
yeah. I'll reveal what happened with my ending a little bit later. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the second part with Marcus, you guys end up infiltrating broadcasting news center. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and with that, you're there's ways on how to get inside, and uh, you get up to like the tower and stuff. Uh, and you go into the broadcasting center and make your announcement. The stuff that you actually do to get there really doesn't matter. Uh, and everything. That part people will have to play to find that out. But you do get upstairs and you're able to make the speech and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Um, when I got up there, I made a speech of equal rights. So that was my thing with Marcus.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
Oh, this should be similar to a crime done to a human.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was my thing with it, and it was never to be violent. It's always to be like, we won't solve anything with violence for towards violence. We have to
Yes.
do it with peace and with words and dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my choice with that in that scenario. Uh, did you get to that point, Nelly, and make a speech?
I did. I think I chose the calm route because you get two choices. There's calm and determined. I took the
Yes.
calm route because again, he's pretty much fighting for his people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why come off aggressive? When basically you don't have to be aggressive to get your point across. So that's why I chose.
Yes.
I do remember being calm about that.
Yeah. I sorry about that. I went the calm route, and um kind of
If
to
y'all hear a little, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. If y'all hear a little screaming in the back, that's my little cousin. He's 1 years old, so I
um
apologize about that.
I think people have heard background noises. I'll say that. Human background noises. Uh
Yes.
so when after all of that happened, you get to a point where you're able to start freeing androids. You're walking
Mhm.
around, you're freeing them, and you kind of have this peaceful protest and everything. And there's another part where, just moving a little bit forward, there's another part where you kind of fall in. You have a choice to fall in love with North and everything, because North wants to do stuff violently.
Mhm.
Uh, Josh, he wants to do stuff calmly. Um, I will say Simon does play a part, but you have to make the choice if to you have to make a certain choice if he stays in the game or not. Uh,
Mhm.
with that, and
I do remember
that happens at the broadcasting portion and
that.
everything.
Mhm.
You end up getting to a plaza, and there's these androids that's in this cyberlife store that you have to free. That's the big thing. Getting about that though is going to be up to you as a player on how to get them free, while you're also freeing more androids. So what I did, well, Nelly, I want to ask you at this point, what happened with your story?
I let's see. I do remember saving Josh,
Hmm.
and I gave him the gun, and then we jumped off the building.
Yes. No,
To get
Simon.
you,
Yes,
Simon. I'm
Simon.
sorry, Simon.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we getting them mixed up. But yeah, I do remember leaving him and giving him the gun, and then jumping off the side.
Hmm.
Afterwards, I think that's when we end up on the street, isn't it?
After you and North have your kind of meeting that part,
Yes.
then you and North are in the street because you're about to uh you're in the plaza. You're about to get free some more androids.
Hmm.
Ooh,
And that's when the protest starts. I think.
yes, the
Or is
protest
that?
starts. Yeah, yeah. So there is another part. Before, I mean, after you free the androids, that's when everybody's walking. There is another protest, but that one happens a little bit later.
Later. Yeah, I remember
Yes.
now.
So, um, when but trying to get the androids free, what did you do and stuff? Because there's some things you have to do so you won't get detected, or did you get detected?
Let's see. So before that, I do remember. I think I got detected because I had to knock out some cameras that were floating around outside when we were in the snow.
That was that one. Yes, the cameras that was in the cyber life,
Yes.
the alarms, uh, and it was those two. Uh, and then you kind of had to find a truck to run
To
in
run
to
in.
get
Yeah,
them.
I do remember
Yeah,
that. Like I
yeah,
said, it's been a while. So sorry if I'm
yeah.
dragging y'all.
No, I know. For me, I put out. So I got the. I messed it up the first time, and then I reset my game, and then put me back at that area. So I did the alarm. I got that
Mm-hmm.
free the androids, and then hid from the police.
Mm-hmm.
Little drone. I went in and took the drone down. With that, And then I started freeing a little bit more, and then I went and got the truck and busted through the window, talked to the people, and got them to realize, we're free,
We're free.
and
Yeah, I
everything.
remember that.
And then we started. The next part after that, you are in like that same town square in that plaza,
Mm.
and you are able to be a passes or violent and stuff. So in other words, you get to be evil or good.
Yeah.
So I was good through everything that I did there. Uh,
As long as it's market story, I think I did choose a lot of pacifist routes because, again, even though first time I was like, man, I'm gonna smash this, and this, and then I was like, oh, I get it now, and that's when it hit me like, hey, whatever choice you make in this game, you could change it. So that's when I started taking pacifist routes.
yes. So you get to a point where you guys I guess they were all free and about to protest, but they end up getting shot by the police. Uh, and you go and you kind of find out a little bit or get a hint of North's story because there's one girl that looks like North, and you're like, oh, okay, something happened and
Mm-hmm.
everything. You get to the police. Simon hands you a gun, or John hands you a gun, or Josh hands you a gun. Uh, and they tell you, you got to get revenge for the androids and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
at this point, I spared the cops.
Yes,
Uh,
I did. I do remember doing that. I didn't shoot them because I think it was like two cops, if I'm not mistaken, and you got the
yes,
choice of revenge, letting them go, and and then I think it
it's
says
just
don't decide.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it's coming back. It's coming back.
so you kind of leave from there, and you're kind of getting ready and everything because there is something happen where Marcus ends up getting shot. Uh, and then you end up going back. I think there was another protest or something. Um, and you end up going back to Jericho, your ship. Um, and we're gonna stop right there because this is when all three stories connect in a sense
Hmm.
up to this point. So now we have Kara's or Connor's storyline. Where would you
Let's
like to go?
let's talk, Kara.
Okay, Kara. Kara starts her adventure waking up in a cyber life. She end up getting repaired because the guy who she was with um, beat her and everything.
Todd.
Was abusive. What you say?
I think his name was Todd.
Todd was abusive to her. So Todd ends up getting her home in Detroit and wants her to do these chores and stuff. And there's a little girl named Alice that is there. So Todd is ordering you to clean downstairs and clean upstairs. Um, and there is a point now before we go on. The house that you go in looks like the same exact house from Detroit Become Human. I mean, not Detroit Become Human. Heavy Rain.
Hmm. I didn't notice that. Again, I
Yeah,
didn't play Heavy Rain, so
yeah. Because Heavy Rain, the house, the way that the area there looks like Detroit in a
okay.
sense. So, uh, you're cleaning around, and at this point, it's up to you. You got optional chores you could do, and then the main chores and stuff. There's a point where you get to doing the laundry, and you push your hand in, and when you picked out a package, you're looking for the detergent, you see some red ice, and Todd comes in and starts strangling you and everything.
Hmm. He was just abusive. I couldn't stand him, honestly. Oh, I hated that man. Oh, let me shut up. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So, he goes on this stuff. You go upstairs, and this is where you can unlock some things. So, I clean the Todd's room, and I unlocked the drawer with the gun in it.
Gun. I remember that.
So, uh, later on, with that, you go in, you meet Alice, and you're cleaning up, and she's kind of mute and stuff because she's afraid. But then she ends up opening up to you and start trusting you for a little bit. They go in and have this dinner that you serve them. You're pouring water, and at this point, uh, Todd is blaming Alice for the way he feels and everything. He ends up smacking her and stuff.
Hmm.
And Alice runs away to upstairs, and Todd goes in. And this is a point where you're able to talk to Todd or go upstairs and comfort Alice and stuff. And but what ends up happening, you end up breaking your command center consensor. It become a deviant. And deviants are when they break their protocol or design, um, and stuff. So they kind of end up having free will and emotions and things like that. You go upstairs, and depending on if you unlock the drawer to get the gun or you go straight to Alice's room and stuff, Todd does intervene and starts trying to hurt Alice a little bit more. But you go in, and it's up to you on how you want to protect Alice. I killed him.
I killed him my first playthrough. I remember that so clearly. I
Yes,
remember that
I
so clearly.
there. QTE quick time event. That's the name of it. Where for the commands and stuff. I ended up passing that, making the right decisions and stuff. And he's begging for his life not to shoot him, and they give you the option of not to shoot him or you do, and I end up killing him. After killing Todd, you run off and stuff
Hmm.
with Alice. So you guys run off. You get on a bus, and you stay on the bus until it gets to the next scenario. When you get to the end of the line of the bus with Kara, you're dropped off, and then you have an option because Alice is getting cold, and you need to, find a safe space for her. I went into the alley or this little point and stuff. After meeting this truck driver who lets me know there's a way to, I think, a place that would help me,
Yes.
which plays a little part in the game. And so when I get there, I get Alice to his car. She's kind of worried, but she has to. It's raining and stuff. So you get Alice in there, you comfort her, and then you're able to cut your hair and put on a coat so you can stay warm. I turned my hair black in this one.
The
What did you do?
Actually, you get with the three choices. You let's see. You get the hotel room. You can stay in the house, or you can get in a car. The first time I killed them, I actually went to the hotel after I robbed the corner store, I guess.
I
Because
did not
I think,
know that.
yes, you can rob the little corner store. You can have Alice, you know, do a little diversion or whatnot,
Yeah.
and you can steal money out the register to pay for your hotel room. I had did that. Here's where I messed up at. When you take that option, spoiler alert, they're gonna find out where you are because of course you got to check into your little motel. They're gonna
Yeah.
recognize you, so now the cops are gonna be on you. I mean, the cops gonna be on you anyway, but this is just a different scenario. So yes, be careful with your choices. The second time around, and I didn't do this. I actually stayed in that abandoned house and met Ralph. I think that's his name. Who is another weird. android, but I like this character. Um, in that scenario, he's pretty much, I forgot what he's cooking. It's like a raccoon or something,
Hmm.
and he's trying to get Alice and Kara to eat. And afterwards, Connor comes in, and I'm gonna stop right there. Go ahead.
Okay. So I did the car part where, you know, you do the changing, you keep Alice warm, and then you guys wake up and you guys have to go. At that point, you have to kind of like, uh, kind of a little bit be stealthy and not get caught by the police. So you're hiding under a umbrella or you're hiding on this side. You're turning your back and everything. And you're trying to get to the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get to the train station, it goes on to the next part with it. So I was able to escape. Connor and uh, Hank are looking, which we'll talk about them in the next part. They are looking for like clues and evidence because they have a different case that's going on at that time. So I was able to get away and not get caught.
I did too, actually. That was fun.
Yes. So you end up at this man's place called this man Zelensky, who is living in Carl's old house. And what he has done to the place, uh he kind of like because it looks abandoned and everything, uh Kara says that, can you help us be able to get to across the border? And this is where you meet Luther, who's this big black android, this gentleman and stuff. And uh uh Todd, I mean not Todd, Zelensky invites you to come downstairs, and there's a part where Kara turns and looks at this room and stuff, and you don't know what it is, but you can uh reassure Kara or tell her to come on or just completely ignore her. I reassured Kara, which opened up that room and everything. Uh when you go in and you follow uh Zelensky, uh is you Zelensky, you Alice, and I meant to say Alice, who looks at the weird door. Alex and Luther. Uh Zelensky starts telling you, because he asked you to step in this portal thing. Zelensky starts telling you that, oh, he doesn't have to remove this tracker thing because when you're a deviant, you don't have the tracker no more. So he lies to her, and the option is to try to break free so you can keep your memories or get your memory wiped. I was able to break free of it.
Yeah, I
Of
broke
this.
free.
So, uh, but if before you kind of lose your memory or whatever, Luther walks up to you and says, "Meet me in the library or meet me in the living room." Uh, And so, depending on your actions and stuff, if you kind of keep your memory, that door you unlock, you get to see that Zelensky has made other androids his experiments, his toy
Mm-hmm.
things and stuff. When you go up there, you'll hear Zelensky talking about, get Alice ready. I'll be ready in 10 minutes and stuff like there. And Luther goes upstairs, and um, for me, I unlocked the polar bear that you meet.
Yes.
Um, Luther is kind of like down and everything, so he's not seeing what's going on. Uh, I go into the bathtub. There's a man with a heart thing, and he said he won't tell on anything if you don't take his heart. So I trusted him. I didn't take his heart and everything. So I kept him alive in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
I told him to be quiet. I checked a few things. There's a gun that's on there, but it's not loaded and stuff. During some time, because you have within 10 minutes, you have to find Alice. Once you find Alice, Zelensky says he's ready and stuff, and you leave and you find out that they find out that Alice is gone. So
Hmm.
at this point, you have to hide under a table in one room, hide in another section where you unleash the polar bear. If you did not take the heart from the android that's in the bathtub, he starts making noise so that they could come there.
Yeah, I do remember like shutting him down.
Okay.
I was like, no, we're not about to do this.
So I was moving, I was going away. I did end up getting like caught and stuff, but I started doing a quick time event because
Mm.
the polar bear was loose. He was attacking Zelensky. So you are able to escape in the front or in the back. And I went to the back. So in the back, Zelensky kind of like has his gun out, and Luther is there by his side.
Hmm.
And I think this depends on what choices that you make before you end that chapter. So for me, Luther comes in and protects Alice and Kara and stuff. And Zelensky, he has his gun and he's like talking and stuff. But because I freed his experiments come and kill Zelensky. And
Yeah, I
then
remember them helping.
Luther, Kara, and Alice escapes.
Yes, I remember going out the front door, and after getting caught in the front, Luther. I remember Luther snatching the shotgun from him,
Hmm. Yeah, same thing. He
and
snatched his shotgun.
yes, and the other androids came out and attacked him, and I was like, freedom.
Yes.
So yeah.
So so he ends up leaving. I mean, they end up leaving, and there's problems with the car and everything. And so you go to this pirate amusement park,
Oh
and
yes.
you're fighting shelter for Kara so she could get some sleep because you guys got a big day and everything to move on. Uh, so at this point, you're kind of talking to Luther. After you tell a story to Kara, I mean to Alice, and for me, Alice said that happy endings only happens in fairy tales, not in real life. And I'm like, what?
Girl.
So,
She's
uh,
still learning. She's a baby. So
yes, you end up talking to Luther, but Luther doesn't have any memories and stuff. But he's just like, I'm built so big. I'm assuming like I was this kind of big person that carried logs or whatever, like do a big thing. But then these androids reanimate and starts bringing it to the place that you guys are staying at.
yes.
And you get an option to get a gun to shoot them or protect Alice, or you could get a something from the fire to like defend or fight. I protected Alice, and
Hmm.
Luther went to go get the gun.
Yes. The Jerrys, I remember them.
Yes, yes. And what ends up happening, depending on what you do, for us for this playthrough, for me, if you did the same thing, Nelly, the Jerry's take Kara to a carousel,
Hmm.
and she rides the carousel in the face out.
I
Uh,
remember getting so teary eyed because I was like, "Oh, you finally see this little girl smile after all of this." So that really touched me. And then like looking at Kara and Luther and Alice's relationship, they
yes,
were like the parents.
yes,
So
yes,
that's why I really liked Kara's story like so much.
yes. So Kara is up going and seeing the house, and they meet Adam and his mom Rose. Uh, Two black people and everything, and I love Rose.
Hmm.
Oh, she was so nice. And mother fruity, and uh, she they she makes a room for Alice so Alice could sleep and everything. And Luther's just kind of looking at Kara to be like, "You do know something wrong, right?" And you get to react to that because she's just like, "What? She's a little girl with a fever and everything."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, and Luther's like, "Okay," and goes about his business. You kind of see that there's been some androids in the house, and one of the androids, the female, she goes out, and the other android who says that he loved her is holding her and doesn't know what's going on. uh,
Mm-hmm.
Adam and Rose has a fight and everything, and Adam goes upstairs because he's angry. It says Dad wouldn't allow this, and Rose just like gets on Adams. You don't say that. And doesn't hit him or anything. Rose cools down, says, "I'm going to find a way." And she to get you guys across the border to Canada, and so she leaves and everything. The police show up,
Mm-hmm.
and when that happens, you kind of have like about 3 to 5 minutes to hide all the stuff from the deviants and everything. So I close for me. I I uh I closed the door that was open. I told Luther and Alice to go into the laundry room.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh
do remember that.
there is one more thing that I did, but I didn't change. I should have changed the uh, reading book to the grass and stuff, and not kept it on the story about androids and stuff.
Okay.
Um, the cop is like kind of looking around and everything, and you serve him coffee, and kind of he's kind of getting suspicious of Adam, and you tell him he's just tired. He's been working in the garden. That's what I tell the cop and everything. And
I
before the cop said, "Oh, go ahead."
I was about to say I do remember saying like, "Oh, it's the washing machine." Even because he heard that banging coming out of the laundry, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is it! This is it! I gotta turn this game off." Because I was really afraid of losing characters,
Uh huh.
but luckily he didn't check it or anything, so I was like, "Okay, I'm good there." But I made
Yeah.
sure to like go through that house like top to bottom. I was like, "I'm not about to lose no androids."
Yeah, I told the cop that it's an old laundry thing. It's good and it's
Mm-hmm.
making this record, and he left. After he leaves, Rose come back to tells you get your stuff ready. We're leaving in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you guys go to Detroit, and she talks about Jericho. You thank Rose and stuff, and we're going to end it right there for Kara, Luther, and Alice's story.
Yes,
So now we have Connor.
I love Connor.
And and the game starts off kind of with Connor. He and this is kind of where I think there's an E3 presentation of this, and you get to make some decisions and everything. Um, there's a hostage situation that's happening on, and you as Connor see that there is a deviant android who has this little girl as hostage and is threatening to jump off the building and kill both of them and stuff. So you are kind of like a negotiator and everything. You have an option to go straight confront him, or you can start searching the house to get clues and everything. Uh, what did you do at this? Because I won't break down everything that you did, but I kind of will say what happened with me and mine. But what did you do, Nellie?
First of all, let's save the fish because that's how you know it's gonna be a good playthrough when you save the fish.
Yes.
And plus, I'm a Pisces, so I got to save the fish. Oh, and so is the okay. We're not gonna get into that. I do remember checking the little girl's room,
Yep, did that.
and you see, oh, you listen, you can hear her music, but you can also see a picture of her and that android together. So right then and there, you know they're friends. They were friends at one point.
Yes.
Then I think there is a dead cop in the house.
Yeah,
I remember doing that. And then I looked at the food, and then I talked to some of the other cops. And then I think I went out on the balcony. Now, my first playthrough, I didn't know this. As you're talking to Daniel, that's his name. As you're talking to Daniel, that android, there's
yes,
actually a cop right off to your left hand side. I didn't know that it was a body over there till I panned the camera. And I was like, oh, okay, I could talk to this, check on him too. Again, I did not know it was a body right there. So I was like, that just added to the game. There's a lot that I missed that I found out. But yeah. Do you want me to
yeah,
keep going? Do you
uh,
want me to stop?
yeah. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so my first playthrough, I don't know how I did this because there's a few ways this could end. My first playthrough, I did it perfectly. I sadly Daniel died, and I saved the little girl, and Connor walks off like a badass. If you go on my YouTube channel, where I posted my little playthrough now that I'm doing on Twitch, I get Connor killed. I don't know what I did wrong. I need to go back and look at that. I'm a little upset about that, but we just gonna keep it rolling.
Okay, I didn't know that because uh my first playthrough, uh he ends up killing the little girl,
Oh wow.
but I ended up, we playing it again. And I'm just like, okay, so I found out, that Daniel killed the dad, and all of this is happening because Daniel is getting the idea that he's going to be replaced, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not like that and stuff, and everything. So, um, you find clues on ways to help you do that. So on my second playthrough, on my replay, Daniel ends up getting sniped. He ends up getting killed, and I saved the little girl and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, Connor walks off. Um, Next thing you know, uh, Connor is assigned this case with Hank, and you have to find Hank in this bar. You end up finding him, and then you go into another house, and you see that this man has been killed, uh, and you're trying to find out who killed him and everything. So you're searching the house and everything, and you find there's a deviant and stuff. Um, and the deviant is telling you not to rat him out and everything, but you end up do rat him out, which is it to goes into the next part. What did you do with this? Because found all the clues and everything, uh, and stuff, and uh, what I did in the next part that we're going to get into, uh something happened on my first playthrough, but not my second playthrough, which I'm happy about.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to, kind of get through it. So I kind of want to know, what did you do
Let's
at this
see.
point?
I let's see. I went into the house. Of course, you start looking for clues. There is one clue that's important that I don't even think I got on my first playthrough, which was that statue of RA9. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think I missed that one. My second playthrough, I got it. And then, of course, you check the other clues. And then that's when you put all your clues together to see how that owner of the house died.
yes,
Yes, okay. But yeah, the first playthrough, I didn't get the statue. And I was like, what is this little lock? This Because
this
again, if you don't get all the clues, there's gonna be like that little lock right there, and it's like, well, what did I miss?
right. It was weird because I'm like, did they make this thing make the a statue out of earwax. Like, ugh,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was like
so
that little
weird.
brown clay thing, and I was like, okay.
Yes. So you end up fighting the person who ends up killing the guy, and you get to the scene where Hank is questioning him, but Hank is not getting no farther into the investigation. So um, there's this one guy, he was just like very snooty and everything. Uh, and Hank just like, kind of saying, let me talk to him. I could get some answers. And Hank said, why not? So you asked Connor go in, and my first playthrough, because I didn't make him, I made him, kept him stressed and everything, he ends up killing himself in the interrogation room. But on my second playthrough, I was able to get him getting really feel like threatened and really scared. I got his fear up to the
Mm.
blue, and so because that happened, he started talking, revealing stuff.
I just remember
Uh,
238 star wounds. I was like, woo, kind of not playing up in here. Y'all better answer.
right. And so the man comes in, he wants to kill the robot and everything, and you as Connor telling them, no, you guys are not going to get no answers with that. So I was able to stop all of that from happening. He didn't kill himself. uh he kind of felt relieved, but when you actually get into the police station and get a desk with Hank and everything, you do end up talking to him, and he ends up killing himself in the police station.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he bangs his head against the glass.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I think that's how he died with me. I was like, oh my goodness, what did I do something wrong?
yep. So with that, you end up. I think you end up meeting Hank at his house and everything, and you find Hank on the floor unconscious. Now, I will say this: part of my first playthrough, I was being nice to Hank, even though he was being rude to me. But on my second playthrough, I was actually being hostile to him, to Hank, and everything.
And his
Uh,
house with sumo.
yeah, I love Sumo. I'm like, oh, Sumo is so cool. Such a beautiful dog. Uh, you end up uh I think there's a part where Hank is getting lunch and stuff, and you guys are talking and stuff. And you go and try to find this other deviant and everything, and it leads you through a chase. It gets to a point where you can help Hank, or you can continue to go after the thief, or the the person who was running away.
Hmm.
Uh, I left Hank
What?
and
No, you
and
demon,
went and
dude. I have a special relationship with Hank. Anytime Hank is in trouble, I gotta save Hank. Like, for some odd reason, I took the Hank right off the bat. So it
uh
was like always protect Hank. Even like when he didn't like Connor, it was like there's something about you I like. So I just gotta just keep trying and keep pulling at your strings. But yeah, I know what part you're talking about. I definitely had to save Hank. I was like, we always gotta save Hank.
no, I went after the victim, and Hank ended up punching me and
Yes.
everything. Kind of was like, huh? Okay, you're trusting in the robot, whatever. And so you're taking the guy back, but he runs off and he kills himself and stuff.
Mm.
Uh, Later on, you get another call to go to Eden's club because another man got killed. And then you're finding clues on ways on what's going on. There's a fight scene that happens with two of the androids. And I'm moving past this because you gotta play it in order to find out what goes on. Because there's an option of you not finding out what happens, and then a point that you do find out what happens. And so a fight ensues, and you go outside, and there's still another fight that's going on between you, the U.S. Connor with these two androids, and it gets to a point where you can spare one of the androids or kill them, and I ended up killing one of them.
I spared it. I know that for a fact.
Okay. If you kill it, the other android, starts explaining and everything on why he killed, or on why this person killed the human and stuff. Um, and so what ends up happening, that android runs up to Connor, takes the gun, put it up to her neck, and kills her and kills itself.
Oh well, I did not know that. I spared
Yes.
them. Here's why I spared them. Because again, it goes into they just want to be treated equally. You saw the two Tracys, they were in love. I was like, what? Even though they're androids slash robots or whatever,
Hmm.
how come they can't just live in harmony? It goes a little deeper than that. I don't want to just. We probably just go sit here and talk about this after the podcast. But yeah, I'm like, what actually is stopping them from just living their life? They just want to be treated equally, pretty much like everybody else. So that's why I spared them.
Yeah, these two carrot androids were in love. And see, you wouldn't know that if you don't follow the clues.
Mm.
There's a point that they could get away, or to go solve the clues and everything. Um and so because I killed the other girl and or I killed the android and let the other android get killed, Hank is getting very hostile, just like F you. So there's a point where you are looking at the city of Detroit, and you and Hank are having this discussion and everything. Hank shot me because
Ooh.
I kept telling him, I don't care. My mission is important, and we are just androids. We are just machines. We are supposed to follow the command.
Mm-hmm.
I am not able to think for myself. I'm not allowed to. And Hank was just like, bam, and ends up killing me. Sits down and eats his lunch, and the thing fades.
Oh wow. I didn't know. I never got killed by Hank. I got killed for Hank, but
Yes. And so,
oh,
and
okay.
so you, yeah, so you do come back and everything. And I think it's at this point what what decisions that you are kind of making and stuff. Um, because you end up going into the police station, and you find out the FBI is taking over the investigate. No, sorry about that. That's a little bit later on. You end up going to the broadcast station
Mm.
where Marcus was at, and you're investigating that part. And so you're looking, getting clues, and you have an option to go upstairs and see Simon and get clues, or you are able to go see the three androids that were in the room that end up
Terrible.
helping Marcus. So I end up going to see them, and I found out who did it. That android took something out of me, threw it down, and ran away. I started, doing the quick QTEs. I end up coming back to life, and then I go in, and because the android grabbed the gun, you have options to try to go after him, save Hank, or do some other stuff. And I saved Hank in
I
this one.
saved Hank. I saved Hank.
So
Again, when it comes to Hank, I have to save him. So I already
yeah.
knew. I was like, if I have to save him, I'm going for him. And I think that's where you could kill off Connor again.
Yeah, kind of ends up getting shot, and he ends up dying on that
Mm-hmm.
one. So, Connor comes back and stuff, and Hank is just like, every time you die, I thought I could get rid of you. So, but you end up in the police. You end up in the police station. You and Hank is taken off the case and stuff, and you see the FBI guy that's coming, and you have to like kind of distract them because you have to get some clues and stuff. Uh, so I unlocked the other door, which let the one other black man come, and he hits the FBI agent. I go in and steal Hank's key, uh, go downstairs and start investigating there.
Hmm.
Um, I think his name is Gavin. I think that's the guy's name. We'll just call him Gavin.
I think
You
that is
fight.
his name. Yes, it is
Okay,
Gavin.
so you get what you need and you fight Gavin, and I just knocked them out. I didn't kill him or anything. It says incapacitated him or something. So I kind of knocked them out, and then I leave and I get the information to find out where Jericho is at and
Hmm.
stuff. So now this is where all three of the storylines come together. Uh, Kara finds Jericho and she's looking for Marcus because she needs passports to get into Canada. And Marcus is looking, I mean, not Marcus, Connor is looking for Marcus so he could kill him and everything or apprehend him. Uh, when as time goes, they get infiltrated by the army. And it's at this point where a lot of decisions can be made. That is
What?
some stories or continue some stories. Nelly, should I go first on what happened?
Yes. Or do you, no? Actually, you know what? Let me go first.
Okay, I'll let you
So
go
I
first.
all right. So I do remember walking in at. Oh, wait, actually, let's go back. I do remember Carol looking for Marcus, and this is where after I went to go look around, it's a little spoiler here. You see Alice sitting there with Luther, and I think she turns her head, and you find out that she's actually an android.
No. So you pass another android that looks like Alice, and
Okay.
she has the blue thing. And Luther
Yes.
tells you, yes, Alice is a android because then when you turn, there's another shot that you see Alice without the thing. You didn't
Without. Yeah.
realize that they didn't realize that they took the thing off and made Alice this real looking girl.
Hmm. And I was like, wait a minute, she been an android all this time.
Hmm.
But she gave a clue that I really wasn't paying attention to. I think it's when she was laying. What? Who was it? Was it at Rose house? And she said something about how come they don't like us. I'm like, what is us? And that kind of gave it away. Or she said us or we. I can't remember which
Hmm.
word she used. And that's when it hit me. I was like, is she an android? But I was like, no, she can't be. I think she's just talking about like us as humans.
Right. And it never looked like her skin changed when she was sick, and
Hmm.
they never did pictures of her eating anything or drinking. Because there was a point where it was just like you have been going days without eating or drinking anything. You need to
Hmm.
eat and get your energy. And Kara didn't recognize that, and so Luther told her you didn't want to realize that she was an android and stuff.
Hmm. Because you took to her.
Right.
You pretty much saw us as your daughter
Right. So
that you need to protect.
and then you had an option to hug her or distance yourself, and I hugged her.
Now, of course, I got to hug Alice. Like I said, it
So
was their relationship that just touched me. Like all three of them.
yes, there is a point where Kara, where you can save Luther or let him go, and everything. And there was a point where Luther stayed on a thing and he hid. There is a point where you get into the store and hide, and some androids knocking saying that, you know, let me in or they're gonna kill me, and you have the option of opening the door or keeping it closed. I kept it closed. I let the android die. Didn't care. Had to protect Alice at all costs.
Of course.
when I got outside with all the other androids, Kara and Alice got killed.
Oh, you talk about when they were laying on the ground at the end?
Yes, didn't know I should have played dead,
Oh, wow. Okay.
but both of them end up getting killed, and that was the end of their story.
Jeez. Oh, wow. Yeah, I
So,
always played dead
and
because
I
that's
guess
when. Uh huh. Go
oh,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh no, because I guess that's the way that you end up escaping to get across the border.
Mm. Yeah, I played dead because I remember them like looking for survivors, and they were walking up slowly, and I got the option to like play dead or move
Yeah,
or something, and I played dead because I was like, I got to protect this little girl. I got to get her out of here.
right. So, that's with my playthrough with the Alice and Caribbean dead. That was the end of their storyline. Uh,
Oh, okay.
so we get back to Marcus and Connor, and you are fighting Connor and stuff, and you kind of get away, and Marcus is trying to going down to destroy Jericho, and Connor is trying to find him and stop him, but there's a point where Connor gets confronted by another army stuff, and you have options. I ran and it killed Connor, so my mission failed.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it's but as Marcus, I was able to help John. I was able to help North. So John, North, and Simon and Marcus was able to get away because I was able to do the timer and stuff. So I beat all the enemies that came and did the timer. We jumped into the river and then it goes on. So
I
it
remember actually saving everybody because I was like, "Come on, Connor, we gotta go deviant. We gotta help our people."
yes. So there is a point where we're gonna get close to the end. There's a point where you are making decisions and stuff with Marcus because now kind of the story is focused on Marcus, freeing his people and everything. And while you're walking, you're greeting more people and stuff. Uh, there's a point where you get into this church and you're telling the people on what you want to do. I still went peacefully. Uh, you visit a camp and you said you really want to let your people go. There is a point though, because I don't know if you did this. So if you kill Leo and everything, you have this kind. You ask Marcus go and visit Carl and stuff.
Hmm.
You meet an android and you start talking to him. The thing about Carl, he said there's sometimes that you're going to have to face the abyss, but you are the kind of you are the leader or you the person to lead them out. So it's just like there's going to be darkness, but you are the light that's going to lead them out of it.
Hmm.
So I thought that was really cool. Um, some things happen. Connor is still alive for this one, and the guy from the hostage situation in the first one in my playthrough shows up. So, because you are about to be a sniper and snipe Marcus and stuff. So, you could keep your mission or you could flee and stuff. So, I jumped off and killed Connor and let Marcus do everything. Marcus ends up meeting, this is my playthrough. Marcus ends up meeting the FBI person because Hank committed suicide
I,
in my playthrough because
mm,
I kept Hank so hostile and everything. He was looking at his son. He had some bourbon and he had the gun, and he said, go market. I mean, go kind of do your mission since that's more important to you than human life or life in general. So it was kind of your actions, which because you would think that Hank wouldn't be affected because he hated androids,
hmm.
but something about it changed, and so you walk out and you're about, this is when you're about to go to Jericho. You walk out and you was about to go to Jericho or you was about to go and do the snipe thing. You go out and you hear a gunshot and it's Hank that killed himself because you hear snow bark and groan
Mm.
because he
Oh.
sees what happened. And so you stay there, you get on the thing, and you go on your mission. So
Ooh.
uh they end up building a fort. You end up talking to people. You end up showing the media that we're equal rights for androids. You put a flag down and everything. You meet the FBI, and the FBI kind of wants you to surrender, and it depends on what choice. The FBI guy tries to play you with North, saying
Yes.
you surrender, you be spared. But I said no. We all, if I die, then we all die, and that's
Hmm.
it. So there's a bomb that ends up getting thrown after you go back, after you tell the FBI no, and then you do a quick time event, and then you all are surrounded, or the people who are left are surrounded, and you are able to sing, kiss North, or do nothing. There was another option. I started singing, and all the androids started singing, and because of them singing, that allowed the president to, because I, in my public opinion, was positive. So
Hmm.
that ended up swaying the president to say, hey, we're going to call this off and everything. So those androids survived. Um, in the end, Marcus is getting a speech, and Connor is in there, and he has the option to shoot Marcus or not. And I put no, and you end up seeing Connor into the place where he's meeting this woman named Amanda and stuff. So you're walking around and just cutting back, and you're trying to find out how to override it, because you do meet the creator. I forgot to say, talk about this. You and Hank meet the creator. This is before Hank kills himself and everything. You guys meet the creator of these androids and everything, and he gives you the turf test, where the person that lets you in, this female, who is the girl that you meet when the game starts.
Miss Chloe. I remember her.
Yes. He brings her down and says, if you shoot her, I'll give you all the answers that you need to your one question. If not, I won't answer anything. So that affects your relationship with Hank. So she got down, I killed her, and I asked her what is RA9. And the man doesn't know. He said you should have asked a better question. And
Oh,
Hank walks off.
what?
Hank walks off, and he drives off. In the end, Hank drives off and leaves you there and stuff. In
Mm.
my playthrough. But in the end, Hank kills himself. Uh Connor, I was able to kind of make him a deviant, give him his free will. Uh and Marcus is telling the people, we are now free. We are now going to be treated as equal. And the game is.
Oh, mine was a little different because I went to Cyberlife, and I remember jumping on an elevator with Connor, and at the bottom or on the ground floor, I got into a battle with another android that was like Connor's twin, and
Yeah.
then I had to answer questions from Hank to see who was the real Connor, and of course the fake Connor died because I'm that damn good. And Hank told me to go on to I want to say it was the meet where Marcus was at.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I remember the part where the grenade was thrown, and then you had to save like as many androids as you can with Marcus.
Yes.
I do remember kissing North. I do remember giving a speech with Marcus. I spared Marcus, and like you said, you go back to that area where you meet Amanda. I remember
Yes.
saving Connor, and of course, I got I guess a peaceful ending. I guess you could say with those two, I should say. At the end of the game, I do remember Hank hugging Connor. That's the one I got. So that's when you was going into details about you, I was like, wait a minute, why that sound different? I forgot. There's like 15 different endings in this game, but
Yes. Yes. Um
wow.
I I I gotta say, because I know that Marcus' story is kind of becomes the game at the end, which is really good. But I felt bad that I allowed Kara and Alice to die because of my wrong decisions.
Oh wait, so you didn't do the you didn't do the train station with Kara and Alice.
What train station?
Okay, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. So at the end of the game, you know how you trying to cross the border to go to Canada?
Yes. Yeah.
You
Okay. So this is new to me because I got them killed at the dock. They
okay?
didn't. They didn't get away because I didn't play dead.
Oh, what? I don't want to spoil it. Dang. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you go back and
No.
play.
No. No. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. So in my playthrough, I got to the train station. At the train station or the bus station. I'm sorry, the bus station. Alice, Luther, and Alice are going towards it. You find out that you need a ticket. Of course, you don't have a ticket. Now, here's the choice where you meet a family. I should say. Let me go back. I'm getting
Uh,
excited. You see a lady drop a train ticket. Now you have a choice to either give it back or keep it for yourself. Now, mind you, she is with a newborn baby and her husband that's trying to get to Canada. So it was like, here's where my selfishness came in. I didn't give that ticket back. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, ma'am. You can get one at the window, probably. I gotta say, me, myself, and I. So you get in line. They're scanning everybody for androids. You see somebody walk up to the window. They get scanned. It goes off their android. They actually get shot at the window. And it's like you
yes.
in line, like, what the hell? What the happened? If you save, is it? You're gonna see a Jerry in line. Y'all gonna start communicating telepathically. You can either spare him or have him sacrifice himself. Here's where my bad decision came in. I actually had him sacrifice himself, and me, Luther, and Kara actually crossed the border. So I pretty much had an android kill itself. Oh man. But
But
hey,
you did that to get the good ending.
yeah, pretty much. And I did get the good ending. So wow, you
Ah.
you missed all of that. Because
Yeah.
there's more choices. That was just a quick summary of what I did.
Yeah. Because there's stuff that's locked at a certain
Yes.
point. If you get them killed, that's the end of their story
Oh
and
wow.
everything.
One
And
other
see,
thing.
go ahead.
If you spare Todd, he pops up at the end. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh no, Todd had to die. He had to die because he was, and this is the thing about this game is that all the ugly people, all and stuff, uh, all the ugly people and everything, um,
Important.
all right,
You okay, love? I'm teasing.
uh, uh, all the ugly people who were acting the way that they were acting all got killed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and talk.
So where should I start? Of course, you don't really want to save like all the baddies, but again, I feel like each one plays a role in this as far as this game goes.
Keep talking. For a quick minute, I gotta go check something.
Okay. We could actually just pause it here.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Okay. Oh. Let's go take this down real quick. Sorry about that. Waiting for a FedEx package.
You okay? I forgot where we left
Yeah.
off. Oh, I was telling you the ending of my part.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I remember you saying like, "Hey, I didn't get that," and you were saying like, "Hey, I didn't play dead, so I didn't get that ending." I was telling you about it.
Okay. Calendar fail. Well, so everybody, that's kind of it for Detroit Become Human. There are three good endings, some mixed endings. Uh, it's very replayable. The girl Chloe, she asks, "Are we friends?" It's, and that happens when you come back from one of your playthroughs when you go to the main menu, like you cut off the system.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And I said, "No, we're not friends because I don't know who you are." And then I see them like, okay, but at the end, you could do a new game and stuff. Um, she asked me, can she go off and be free to find herself? And I said, yes.
I said yes too. Actually, I was like, it looks so empty without her. Like, where is she?
Yes.
Actually, I
So,
recorded that. Yeah, because I was like, if my screen looks a little different from everybody else's game, that's because I freed Chloe.
exactly. So, that is just, I would say, a portion of Detroit Become Human. Um, Kind of the flow of it, we gave you guys the kind of the flow of it, but your decisions really changed the game, so we didn't explore everything. That's why I'm happy that that game gave a flow chart. I've been so excited to play this game all the way. It's about 10 hours in total. A little more if you want to do everything. You can beat it in a weekend, and it's not really that long of a game. Surprisingly, it's easier with the quick time events. So and everything, they actually you're able to see it and give it time. I think the only thing I didn't like was some of the times it makes you shake the controller and everything. You be like, what the? And I would end up moving it the wrong way and everything. Just like, oh crap.
You know what? I didn't turn that feature on. I used the touchpad
Uh huh.
and I used the D-pad. But
Oh,
other than that,
nice.
I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do that whole motion, so I was like, I should try it next time. But I know me, I'll be like, oh my god, my arms are getting tired. Back in my day, I
Yeah.
used to do this.
So, I personally, for me, would recommend that people play Detroit Become Human.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I know that David Cage has been a very controversial person. He's kind of lost a lot of credibility with a lot of people because of I won't say a scandal, but alleged situation that happened with them. I don't ever think it got resolved or anything. Um, but Quantic Dreams is doing a Star Wars game, so I am looking forward to that. And outside of David Cage himself, I really enjoy Quantic Dreams games. I really like that they are going for a narrative and
Hmm.
stuff. And if people even feel like it's too cinematic or it's overridden or it's clumsy and stuff, I do love the fact that when I do make a choice, it's really coming from me and it's natural. It's nothing that's like made up or anything
Hmm.
um, with it. So,
Yeah.
Nelly, any thoughts?
Any thoughts? Go play Detroit Become Human. Great
Yes.
game. Pick it up. Uh, Listen, you don't know what you're missing, pretty much, if you haven't played it.
Yes. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for Talk the Walk. I will say at this time we don't have our February game, but if you follow us on Discord, Boss Rush Media, we will have our next game. Just to give everybody a heads up, we are going to be doing Before Your Eyes. We are going to be doing Coffee Talk episode 2. Hindsight is going to be one that we are going to be looking at, and there is one game that I think is about to come out on PlayStation. It's that black girl with the glasses, and she's exploring this world and everything. it's like, not saying it's a coloring book, but it's beautiful in its colors and its depictions. I can't get the name of it, but I'm going to be putting it up there for people to check out. So we will have a game for February. Or probably by the time you see this, we will have that game ready. Nellie, I want to thank you for joining me for this episode.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Anything?
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at Planet Nellie. Nellie is spelled N3LLIE. And you can find me on Twitch when I have time under Bratface_87.
Yes. And you guys can follow me on Twitter at that retro code. You guys know the whole bit and everything. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you the next time on Talk the Walk. Bye, everybody.
Much love. Bye.
Talk the Walk is a project of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. This show is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Celeste Roberts. You can find Celeste at Fairy Crips on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at That Retro Code on Twitter and Instagram and hosting Nintendo Power Block. You can follow Talk the Walk's release schedule by following the Boss Rush Podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Boss Rush Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.